Right.
I need to get the bass tablature of that so I can learn how to play that on my bass.
There you go. Maybe we'll have you play it live. Play it along.
Yeah. I was gonna figure out how to tap. I can't play by ear, but if I see it on paper, I can figure it out.
Nice. Welcome in, Terry.
Hey, Terry.
All right. So today, if you saw the teaser thumbnail, the plays we're going to cover today are not. Terry's asking, is that a Raiders hat you got on there?
Yep.
Yeah. Today's plays are not going to be the obvious. They are going to be. I had some fun with this. I thought about going a couple different directions. I thought about, let's see if we could find some junk wax that we can make some money on rather than everybody going out and bashing their heads trying to get a box of Topps Finest and never having a shot because Topps sucks. I'm so freaking mad at Topps right now. It's unbelievable. They're making it so that nobody can have fun anymore. But anyways, so then I thought, do I go year by year? And then I thought, no, we don't have enough shows for that. I thought about just picking out 1 year and saying, all right, now let's, for example, say 1988 or 89 or whatever, 87, 91, saying what can we find for plays in that year? And then I thought, you know what, let's do a whole decade. We're going to do the junk wax era decade. We're going to do 1990 to 1999. The gist of the plays are going to be nothing obvious. For example, 1993, I did not pick Derek Jeter. 96, I did not pick Kobe Bryant. 92, I did not pick Shaquille O'Neal. I tried to make sure that these were a little bit more obscure plays that you wouldn't normally think of, but that you could have fun with. Some of them are going to be a little bit harder to find. They're not going to be, as easy as going on and seeing 60 of them listed on eBay. Some of them you'll have to work on a little bit. But I just thought it was something fun, different, unique. And then I was telling Bo before the show started here that I actually started having so much fun with it that I have so many plays. I don't know if I'm going to get to them all today. May have to save some for a future show, but I've got a lot of 80s and some late 70s plays as well. And again, there are a couple of there's one Michael Jordan play. There are some stars in there, but from 90 to 99, I made sure I did not do any duplicates. So I couldn't use the same player twice, and I didn't want to pick a superstar's rookie card just simply because you don't need to follow our show to figure out that a Shaquille O'Neal, Derek Jeter, Kobe Bryant rookie card, Jason Kidd, Tracy McGrady, Kevin Garnett. It doesn't take a genius to figure out if you get one of their rookie cards in good shape and get a 10, you're going to make money. So I tried to go a little bit different, a little bit unique. A lot of them are not rookie cards at all, which makes it a little bit of fun. And we'll see how this goes. We'll get some feedback, and if you guys like it, we'll do another show like this in the future. We do have our next show in 2 weeks. We do have Eric scheduled to come back on. A lot of you have asked, when is Eric coming back? So Bo and I reached out to him, and Eric will be back in 2 weeks. So you can mark your calendars for that. That should be a fun show, as Eric is always full of knowledge. So what's new with you, Bo?
Oh, not a whole lot. I went to the Dallas Card Show last weekend, which was a zoo. The word on the street is busiest card show ever. Like on Saturday, you couldn't even walk in there. It was just nuts. And then I had remember the Gavin McKenna Tops Now stuff that came out in like maybe
Yeah.
October or so. I was feeling adventurous and I bought the 20 pack of the first one and the second one. But when they got here, I was kind of overloaded with stuff to grade, and I graded the all of the first one and half of the second one. And then I got them back about a week ago, and I came up with this plan. I just went to look at the Penn State hockey schedule, and they're playing throughout all the way through March. And I just have one of those cards ending, about an hour or so after the match is over. And they've all been moving, all been profitable. He had another one that came out yesterday commemorating his first hat trick. And I was like, do I want to do this again? The bad thing is by the time it got here, the season's over. But he is going to be first or second pick in the NHL draft. So I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe throwing in one more go at the kid.
Yeah, he certainly seems to be getting a lot of attention. So sorry, I had a little malfunction there with the camera. It was about ready to fall. I have one of these arms and it is attached to the edge of the table, and it was about ready to fall off. So I had to adjust it. Do you have any pickups from the Dallas show you want to show off here? Or?
I don't have anything in my hand. I wish I would have grabbed some. Well, a lot of them have already been sent off. Okay. I bought a Bo Nix downtown. I bought a Malik Neighbors and a Marvin Harrison Jr. and a Tetaroa McMillan downtown. I used your advice and got a 83 Fleer Tony Gwynn PSA nice. 10. Yeah, the guy was all sitting there by himself and nobody was talking to him, and he had a $600 sticker on it. And I go, hey, I'll give you $500 for that. And he goes, how about $550? I go, nah, I'll think about it maybe. And he goes, oh, here, go ahead, $500. Nice. So I was swinging deals, man. Nobody gets sticker price out of me. I learned that from my mom. Pretty good at wheeling and dealing out there on the showroom floor.
That's awesome. Glad to hear you got some deals that Gwen's going to be a nice long-term hold for you.
Yeah. I got a nice Erling Haaland auto. I've got 3 Erling Haaland autos now. I saw so many like $50,000 Messi rookies. I saw a bunch of them.
Really?
There'd be a table, and it'd be like a PSA 8 or 9 of the 2000, one of those 2004 ones. The one where he looks like he's 18 years old in the face, the mugshot one, $50,000. And I saw this one kid sold Pokemon cards. He had like 5 slabs of Pokemon cards, and the guy offered him, I think, like $5,000 for the. They swung the deal, and he pulled out one of those cash machines that they have at the bank, and grabbed this big wad of $100 bills and just threw it in the machine, and then it kicked out the money, the exact cash in all Ben Franklin's for the guy. It was mind blowing, man. The parking garage filled up every day, and and it was cold. I used to live in Dallas. I didn't think it got that cold. It was cold for Dallas, and people were parking like half a mile away and walking in. It was nuts, man. It was nuts.
Well, that's cool. All right. Let's get into some plays. I might, let's see here if we can do this. Switch the screen around. And we're going to start. I wanted to start with 1990. Somehow I grabbed 91. All right. So 1991 picked a tennis card.
Wow.
Everybody loves John McEnroe. I don't know. I grew up, I hated tennis, but when you sit and you would watch John McEnroe and he'd scream and holler and smash his tennis rackets, it was just good TV.
He's got a temper problem.
Oh my God, he's got a temper problem. But it was such fun TV watching Johnny Mack. You never knew what was going to happen. If he'd throw something or smash something or go off on a ref. It was just, I hated watching tennis, but if he was on, I'd watch him. So kind of 1991 was the year I graduated as well. So I had to go with Johnny Mack for 91. It's the Net Pro number 9. This card's only a $5.14 card. Obviously with the green borders, it's edge and corner sensitive. But you can see, I went back this one here. I went to a whole year. There's only been 23 sales. So about 2 per month. Not a very, tennis wasn't popular in 91. So the fact that there's that many sales of a raw card kind of surprises me a little bit, but the card is out there. It is available. The 1-year average is $6.77. A PSA 9 is $60. So you spend $5 to $10. You spend $25 for grading with shipping, and you got $35 on a card. And on a PSA 9, you're going to make a $20 profit. PSA 10, which is there's only 20 PSA 10s. So I wasn't going to put this on there, but then when I looked, 3 of the 20 PSA 10s all came in 2025, which also kind of surprised me. So they are still gemming this card. There were 3 of them last year. And a PSA 10 sells for $100. You're not going to get rich on this play, but if you get a 9, you're going to pick up a little bit of money, and it's just it's a fun play, fun card to have. Something different than than what everything else is. So
I wonder what the 8s do, just because that being.
So
that
I did. So an 8 is $28. So essentially, if you can get a raw card at $5 and $23 to $25 for grading, you're essentially a bust even maybe on an 8. So yeah, there is that as well. So an 8's basically a break even. A 9, you make $20 or $30, and a 10, you make $70, and you got yourself a cool, unique card that nobody else has.
There's some tennis kid that they put on Tops Now yesterday. He's like a teenage Asian kid who's did something remarkable. I don't keep up with to tennis hardly at all, but there is some new guy. Sorry to interrupt.
All right. I don't follow tennis enough to know who that would be.
Yeah.
Let's see if this goes in order. Nope, it's going to jump around. That's all right. 1993. So this is the one and only Michael Jordan card you will see in this. This is the Locker Talk card. This is a fairly unique card. You don't see this card pop up very often. There's so many Michael Jordan cards out there, but I thought this was kind of a neat card. So its last sale was $8 on the 24th. The 30-day average, there's 14 sales in the last 30 days. So, about one every other day. So it's not an impossible card to find. And the 30-day average is $12.50. So it's jumping around in that $8 to $12 to $13 range. But 14 in the last 30 days, I thought that was kind of interesting on a card that's that old to have that many sales. In a PSA 8, so a PSA 8 is $70. So go find yourself a nice copy for $15. Spend $25 on grading and shipping. You'll have $40 invested in it. and a PSA 8 is $70. So you got a nice $20, $25 profit on an 8. On a PSA 7, you're going to break even. On a 9 is $550.
Wow.
Now there's only a 10% gem rate on a 9, or and it's only a 2% gem rate on a 10. A 10 is $8,700. I would not expect to get a 10. There were, of the 10 10s that exist, there were none added to the pop report in 2025. However, there were 6 PSA 9s added to the pop report in 2025. So a PSA 9 is something that's achievable, and that's $550. But on a PSA 8, make a nice $20 to $30 profit, and you don't have to worry about somebody trying to compete with you, because it's these are all unique, different plays.
I've noticed it the last few shows I've been to that there's always somebody that has a case with a bunch of random raw Jordans, just a random batch of, so that could be one to be on the lookout for.
Yeah. 1992, Dominique Wilkins Stadium Club. I love the early 90s Stadium Club cards. I have quite a few in my PC. I just love the way that those beam teams looked. So this is the 92 Stadium Club beam team. Dominique Wilkins, the human highlight reel. $12.99, so $13 is the most recent sale for raw. There's been, again, 13 sales in the last 30 days, so almost one every other day. The 30-day average is closer to $10. So, $10 to $15 range is what you're gonna find. PSA 9. Now, this card gets a PSA 9 33% of the time. And there were 71 PSA 9s added to the pop report in the last 2 years. So this card is still getting a lot of grading. $300 on a PSA 9. So, yeah, a card that you can spend $15 on, $25 for grading. You got $40 invested in a beam team Dominique Wilkins. And you can get all the way down to a PSA 6 and still break even. The PSA 6 sells for $40. PSA 7 was PSA 7 is $70. PSA 8 is $100. A PSA 9 is $300. And again, there are quite a few 9s. It's got a 33% chance at a 9. There are only 417 of these graded, first of all. So let's put that into perspective. This isn't a card that, has a huge amount of cards getting graded. There's only 417 in the last, 30 years. But 33% of them have gotten a 9. PSA 9 is the highest percentage of any of the grades for this card. So I just thought for a $40 investment with a 33% chance at almost a 10x of your money, I really like this. A PSA 10 has a 6% chance of $1,000, but again, I'm not thinking you're going to get a PSA 10. But when you can go out and get a card that's 25 years old and get a PSA 6 and not lose money, that makes it a little bit more fun, right?
Oh, yeah. I think I used to have one of those.
Nice.
Yeah, I believe I sold it for too cheap.
All right. Next year we're going to cover here. Let's see if I can go back and catch that 1990. Nope. We're going to go 94 next. All right. So 1994, Billy Wagner. This is Billy Wagner's rookie card. If you're not a baseball fan, you may not even know who Billy Wagner is, but he had a pretty good career. This is the 1994 Bowman. It's his base card. They did have refractors back then. This is card 642. $10 is the most recent sale. Again, 12 sales in the last 30 days, so about one every 3 days. So, it's not that hard of a card to find. The 30-day average is $9. So, 9, 10, 12 bucks is pretty much where this card sits at for raw. PSA 9, $100. PSA 8, $40. So again, you break even on an 8, you 2.5 times your money on a 9. And again, there's only 372 of these graded, but 164 of them have gotten 9s. So you've got about a 33% chance at a 9 on this card as well. PSA 10's $950 if you were lucky enough. It is a 12% gem rate, and it did have 2 PSA 10s at the Pop Report in 2025. So it is possible. It's not something I would expect, but it is possible. All right, next up we have 95. 95, Andruw Jones. This is the Bowman's Best, card number 7. Again, this is Andruw Jones' rookie year. This is the blue. It's not a refractor. There's a blue refractor. This is just the blue lettering. So it's the Bowman's Best. They call it blue. Last sale, $33.48. There have been 51 of these sales in the last 30 days. Almost 2 per day on a card that's 30 years old. That's amazing. 30-day average is $39, so you're looking in that $30 to $40 range. And again, so you spend $40, 25 on grading, you get $65 invested. A PSA 8 sells for $75, so you break even on an 8. A PSA 9 is $138, so you're gonna double your money on a PSA 9. And the gem rate on this one's a bit interesting because now this card's had 3,764 cards sent to PSA. 2,300 of them have been PSA 9s. So this has a 66% chance at a 9 for you to double your money on a card that's a little bit older, a little bit more fun to go chase. It does have a 10% gem rate, and it did have 5 cards gem in 2025. So it is not impossible to get a gem mint 10 on this one either. Hey, Adam, welcome in. Glad to see you finally got to join a live show. We're having a little bit of fun today. Terry says he's enjoying it, says it's a fun topic, so we're going to keep on going here. We're looking at cards that are a little bit different than what you would normally hear content creators talking about. We're showing you how to make money on junk wax era cards with the prerequisite that I'm not allowed to pick a card that is an obvious rookie card like Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, that kind of stuff. So, all right, 1996. The card I picked for 96 is Shawn Kemp. If you're old enough to remember Shawn Kemp, he had some monster dunks. The guy could high fly and throw it down. He was fun to watch. Of course, he played out in Seattle, so he didn't. It was always late night TV, but he was a fun guy to watch. This is not his rookie card. This is a 96 Fleer, card number 5. The card is called Total O. It looks like Total 0. He's not a 0. It's Total O for offense. And it's a good-looking card. It's $12 is the most recent sale. 12 sales in the last 30 days, so about one every 3 days. The 30-day average is $15, $16. So again, you're looking at a $12 to $20 card to find a nice one. So say you spend $15, you got $40 graded, shipped back to you. A PSA 8 sells for $35, so you're going to be out about $10 with fees on an 8. A PSA 9 is $69. So you pick up about $25 on a 9. And a PSA 10 is $160. So you about triple your money on a PSA 10. The fun part of this is being a 1996. This card has a 51% gem rate. There have only been 29 of these cards sent in to PSA. People don't think that this junk wax era can make money, so people aren't grading it. That's why we're doing this episode. These are all very low pop numbers. You don't have a lot of competition, and you have a really unique card that people are going to be like, oh, I've never seen that before. That's a cool card. And you're going to have instant equity in the card. Only 29 have been graded. 15 of them have been PSA 10s. One of those was in 2025. So again, they are still giving out PSA 10s on this card. It just isn't a card that gets graded very often. Which makes it kind of fun. I did a search on eBay and I was surprised at the number. I mean, there were 8 of them listed. So I think I'm going to look for a nice one and I'm going to buy one and I'm going to make that play just because it's a play I wasn't thinking of making before I came up with this harebrained idea either, to do something fun and different for this show. So, all right. Next up is going to be the 90s. All right, this is 1997. This is fun. This is The Rock. I did a tennis card. I am doing a wrestling card. I have bought and made this play twice in the last 10 years. I love this card. I have this card in a PSA 9 in my PC. I have not gotten a 10 yet. If I find a 10, I will probably upgrade to it. But this card last sold for $42 just a few days ago. Only 20 sales in the last year. So this card sells about twice a month. There aren't many on eBay, and the ones that are mostly have buy it now prices. And the people are insane. A lot of them are asking $80 to $100 for them. So this is a card you're going to have to do a little bit of due diligence. You might have to find it at a card show or just put it at a saved watch in eBay and wait for an auction. The one that sold for $42 here on the 19th of January was an auction. So you can still get it. And it was listed, if you go back and you look at that listing, it was listed as near mint. Don't know whether or not it was, but it had a listing in near mint. The 1 year average is $44, so pretty consistently in that $40 to $60 range. It's a card that is fun and unique. So you spend $45, so now you got $70 invested. A PSA 7 sells for $65. A PSA 8 sells for $90. A PSA 9 sells for $180. So you really want to get a PSA 9 to make your profit. And you're going to make about $100 on a PSA 9. Only 57 of these cards have been sent in and graded over the years. Of the 57 that have been sent in, I've been 4 of them. 2 of them in the last 10 years, and then I did 2 way back when I first started grading cards. So I'm responsible for 4 of the 57, which is kind of fun. PSA 9, 25 out of 57. So it's about a 45% gem rate. So it is very feasible to get a nice card and get a 9 and make $100. If you're lucky enough It's a 5% gem rate. If you're lucky enough to get a 10, find a really nice clean copy. Last card of that sold for $1,000. Then you're really making some big.
He's not wrestling anymore, is he?
No, he still makes appearances every now and then. He doesn't get in the ring, but he'll come on and verbally smack somebody down or something like that. But the fun thing about these wrestling cards is, so last August I bought a collection from a local guy off of Facebook Marketplace, and he had a little bit of everything, and he had about 200 wrestling cards, and he had some of these vintage ones in there, and they were in really good shape, because unlike baseball and football cards, people didn't play with them. They didn't play games with those, with the wrestling cards. They just collected them. So they tend to be in pretty good shape when you can find them.
Nice. I've always wanted a Ric Flair. I used to watch him with my grandpa every day when I was a little kid. Got good memories of old Ric Flair.
I like it. 1998 is Jimmy Rollins. I picked Jimmy Rollins rookie card, Philadelphia Philly, longtime Philly. 98 Bowman Chrome card 181. This is the base. It's not the refractor. Again, $7.52. 13 sales in the last 30 days, so about one every other day. $9 is your 30-day average, so you can get one in that $9 to $12 range pretty easy. This card is almost dependent on you getting a 10, but it's getting new enough that it is possible. A 9 sells for $35, so you spend $8 to $10 with grading fees, you're going to break even on a 9. But on a 10, it's $125. So you can make about a $70 profit. It does have a 40% gem rate, and there were 6 PSA 10s last year at PSA. So the card, there are still gemmable cards out there for Jimmy Rollins rookie. Adam is saying he's got a black screen here. Not sure, Adam, if you can still hear me. I'm not sure what happened with the black screen. It's still rolling. I just looked on my phone. It's on my YouTube page. It's still rolling okay on YouTube and on Instagram. If you want to jump in on Instagram, if you can't get it live on YouTube, just jump over to Instagram. It's streaming live over there too. Or if you can't and you got to come back in and watch, it will be up later today on YouTube, and you can always go back and watch it. So if you want to just sit and listen and comment, you can do that. Whatever works best for you. Appreciate you being here. All right, so now we're on 1999. CC Sabathia rookie card. This is a Topps traded. So 1999 Topps traded T33. This is, again, it's the base. It's not the auto. It's not the refractor. This card last sold for $2.75. 18 sales in the last 30 days. So again, almost one every other day, a little better than one every other day is selling. It's an fairly easy card to come by. The 30-day average is almost $6. So I'm not sure why that last one sold for $3. Could have been condition sensitive, but $6 to $8 to $10 is what I would expect to spend on this card. PSA 9 last sale was $35. So again, you're about breaking even on a PSA 9. But again, you got a 33% gem rate on a PSA 10. PSA 10's $130, and with a 33% gem rate, and there were 31 of these that gemmed at PSA last year. it's a card that is still gemming at a pretty good rate.
Seems like those Topps traded cards tend to be in better shape because they come out of that little box. They're not pulled out of packs. Were they that year? I don't think so.
No. The only way you could get them was out of the Topps traded boxes. Yeah.
Yeah. The centering you don't know about, but the corners and everything should be better than most.
So I see Adam made it over to Instagram, so that's good. Glad that you're still with us. All right. I gotta find my 1990 one here. 1990. There we go. So 1990. It's not the rookie card.
No.
But it is Ken Griffey Jr. Couldn't do the 90s without including a Griffey card. He's so much fun to collect. He's by far the most popular player in the junk wax era. This is a Topps Tiffany card. Again, the only way to get Tiffany cards was through the complete sets of Topps Tiffany. So these tend to be much better condition as well because people had to crack open their complete sets to grade the cards. 1990, $7.75, 4 sales in the last 30 days, so about 1 per week. $6 was the 30-day average. I would say anywhere $5 to $10 is fine on this card if you want to go after it. The fun play with the Topps Tiffany is in a PSA 8, so you don't even have to get a very good grade. Spend $10, $25 on grading, you get $35 invested. A PSA 8 sells for $100. PSA 8 is 33% of the PSA population. So you're looking at making a quick $50 on a PSA 8. PSA 9 is also 33%, and a PSA 9 is $300 for the most recent sale. So you're looking at making, a $250 profit on a PSA 9. You have almost a 67% chance. So there's 273 PSA 8s, 358 PSA 9s. There's only 750 of these cards graded. So you've got 623 cards of the 755 cards are either PSA 8 or PSA 9. I thought that was kind of a fun little interesting tidbit when you can go, well, let me just do the math here. I didn't do the math, but I'm gonna quick math here for you because I think that might even be a higher percentage than what I'm giving it credit for. 273 plus 358 divided by, it's 83.5%. 83.5% chance at an 8 or a 9, and you're making $50 on an 8 and $250 on a 9.
What was your suggested price on that again?
The raw cards have been selling anywhere from $7 to $12.
Okay.
So
there's one on eBay right now that's in an auction that has one bid at 99 cents, and there's 5 hours, 54 minutes left.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. I mean, I just looking at the centering of it, and the centering of it looks pretty. It's probably 8 or 9. I would bet.
Well, let's give the folks what they want here, and let's pull that up.
Okay.
So I'll see.
I can send you the link.
Right,
the rest of them, people have like $100 price tags, $35 price tag. And the buy it nows all look way overpriced. But the auctions, there is a handful That 99-cent one.
Yeah, the
looks,
auctions is. Yep. So there's the 99-cent one. Yeah, I mean
it might have some surface issues when you look at it real close, but I can't really tell. The centering looks pretty good though.
Yeah, the corners look good. I mean, a little bit of whiting right down there on the left corner.
Yeah. That's probably a real good one to put on your search, to get the emails when they pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them that are real overpriced buy it nows.
Yeah, well, it's Griffey, so they're people are gonna try and take advantage of people, but
I'm sure people will end up paying that. Somebody will, at least like the $35 one, probably.
Yeah, so I thought that was a fun way to end the junk wax era was with a 1990 Griffey Topps Tiffany. Like I said, you saw on the market movers graph, there have been 14 sales in the last 30 days. The most expensive sale was $16. The least expensive was $6. So 6 to 16. That target, I would target $10 to $15 range, but target the auctions. You do have to watch out and make sure that it is an actual Tiffany, not that somebody's putting Tiffany in the listing and it's a standard card. Of course, eBay would probably protect you on that, but
is there a way to tell other than it being extra glossy?
Yeah, I'm not sure other than it being extra glossy if there's a way to tell that or not.
Yeah. I think Topps was pretty lazy back in those days.
Yeah.
I'll never forgive them. I remember one time they sent me to Miami to cover a Dolphins game, but they never called to tell them that I was coming. So they paid for my flight and my room, and I did not go to the game. They wouldn't let me in. Stupid Topps. And I ended up hanging on the Everglades, taking pictures of alligators.
So if you can believe Google says to tell a 1990 Topps Tiffany card from a regular one, check for a glossy front finish. The regular cards had regular card stock. The Tiffany's had a glossy front finish. And then they had white cardstock backs versus the regular backs were grayish.
Okay.
So,
boy, this back on the 99-cent one we're looking at is kind of yellowy green colored.
Yeah.
I'll look into some other ones. Boy, I don't know, Chad. If I look at the back of one of these graded ones, here's a PSA 8, and I look at the back of it, and then I look at the 99-cent one, they look a bit different to me, but
yeah, so there's,
see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That might not be a Tiffany is what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm sure you get your money back, but the back on a graded one looks a little different from the pictures I'm looking at right now on eBay.
Yeah, so you'll have to do your diligence on there, but if you can find a true Tiffany in that price range, that'd be a fun one to try and go after. All right. What time is it? We got 12:44. Should I do maybe not do all of these? I've got about 30 more plays. Maybe randomly pick a few here and see what else.
Sure.
Go for another few minutes, give a few bonus plays here.
Sure.
All right. I have no idea what's up next. I'm just going to randomly take a card out of my queue and see what we got next. All right. So next up is, all right, this is a fun one. This is the 82 Topps traded Cal Ripken card. Again, these only came in the Topps traded boxes, but centering was a big issue on these. $100 was the last sale. 17 in sales in the last 30 days, so a little better than one every other day. However, the 30-day average is $158, so that last sale was a huge discount. Is it because baseball season is done? Is it the off season, or was it condition sensitive? We don't know. So you kind of got to do your own due diligence. If you go to a 1 year average, you can see they're kind of all over the board. The 1 year average is 143. So I would probably expect to have to pay closer to that 150 mark to get a nice one. Mm-hmm. But if you pay 150 and you grade it, you got $175 in it. A PSA 6 sells for 160, so you'd be out about $20 on a PSA 6. PSA 7 is 215. So after eBay fees, you probably break even, maybe make $5 or $10. PSA 8, which is the most common grade, 66% of the Topps traded Cal Ripkens are PSA 8s. So that's a huge number. You make about $50 on a PSA 8. A PSA 9 is a $525 card. So you almost triple your money on a PSA 9. So that's kind of a fun one.
I've always wanted one of those.
I've had a few. I've always wanted a 10. I have an 82 Topps traded factory sealed complete set.
Oh wow.
I keep wanting to break the seal and see if it's good and grade it, but I've resisted the temptation for 20 years, so I just got to keep resisting that temptation.
Do you have one of those 84 Fleer updates?
In the complete sets, yeah.
I've always wanted one of those too, especially back when I was a kid.
Yeah, I've got 3 complete sets of those.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I've got, when I tell people I've got 1 million cards, it's they kind of, like, they side eye me like, does he really have 1 million cards? Well, I collected for so many years. The bulk majority of the cards in my collection are complete sets. I've got a complete set of Topps from 1973 to the present, and every year I continue to get it. So my plan was, from my birth year till the day I die, every year I'm going to have a complete set of Topps baseball cards. Mm-hmm. I did that with my oldest son. He's got a complete set from 2006 to present. He also has a complete set of football cards from 2006 to present. I started doing it with the football cards in 1989. So I have a complete set of Topps football cards from 89 to present. I've got a lot of 80s. I've got, I think, 2 sets of 80 Topps baseball, set of, I think I've got 5 sets of 83 Topps, 6 of 84. I've got 5 84 Don Russ sets. 4 of them are unopened packages. Nice. So a lot of, I've probably got 500,000 cards or more just in complete sets that never get seen. So I was a huge complete set guy prior to starting to come online and show everybody how to make money flipping cards. All right, I just randomly pulled this one. This is a fun one. This is the Menendez Brothers 1990 Mark Jackson. So for those that don't know, the Menendez brothers were sentenced to life in prison for murdering someone, and they were on this card in the picture. Some guy like Bo, a photographer like Bo, happened to catch the perfect moment of Mark Jackson passing the ball with the Menendez brothers in the background. $5 is the most recent sale. 389 sales in the last 30 days. This card, this is a 1990, and it has more sales in the last 30 days than most of your 2025 tops that just came out. That is insane.
It's probably the Netflix documentary. You know, they put that Netflix documentary about them, and I would bet that's the main reason.
I'm sure. I think I've got 4 unopened boxes of 90 hoops. Every once in a while, I'll go and I'll open one and send a few cards in for grading. But this one here is $5 if you want to. It looks like $5 to $10 is where you can get it. $7 is the 30-day average. A PSA 9 sells for $70. So you spend 10, you got $35 invested. You make $25 after fees on a PSA 9. PSA 10, $420. Would you believe this card only has a 2% gem rate? What I've learned is these 1990s, these early hoops cards were not packaged very well. So they had the loose, so they weren't wax packs back then. They were like a plastic looser plastic bag, and the cards could move around, and you get a lot of chipped up cards, a lot of bad cornered cards, even out of a sealed box. So the early hoops cards are really hard to get perfect 10s on them. But that card has been graded 13,224 times at PSA.
That's gracious.
But it's got a 25% chance at a PSA 9. So you break even on an 8, you make about $25 on a 9 if you want to go with a fun card that is kind of hip and trendy.
They're in a Michael Jordan card too, aren't they? Isn't there a Michael Jordan card with them in the background also? I think so.
No, I don't think so. Are you thinking the Ja Morant card with the Tuies in the background?
No, I was thinking there was one obscure Jordan card that has them in the background also, but maybe I'm wrong.
If there is, I'm unaware of it. All right. Randomly pulled up a 90s, an 86 Fleer sticker.
Wow.
This is the Dominique Wilkins. This is his rookie year. These stickers are fun to collect. They're not that hard to come by. They are very condition sensitive. $20 most recent sale, 30 sales in the last 30 days. So there again, that's what I'm talking about. One sale per day. So it's not a hard card to come by. 30-day average is $21. So $20 to $25 will get you a nice copy of this card. Because they're condition sensitive, I went way down. A PSA 6 is $60. So you spend $15 grading, you got $40. You get a PSA 6, you still profit $10 or $15 after fees. That's what makes this play kind of fun. You can have a Dominique Wilkins rookie card and a sticker from an iconic set. You can get a grade of a 6 and still have a little bit of profit, or a nice PC card. PSA 7 is $89. PSA 8, $205. And a PSA 9, $1,230. There have been 5,227 of these graded. There's 858 PSA 6s, 624 PSA 7s, 1,220 PSA 8s, and 590 PSA 9s. So when you add all that together, there's about a 90% probability you're going to end up with a 6 to a 9. And if you end up in that 6 to 9, you're profiting. There are a few out there that graded 3s and 4s. Those probably are either way off center or have creases or bends, or the sticker is starting to come off of the card. So be aware of that. But otherwise, there's a very, very good chance if you can find one of these that you can make a profit of some sort on a 6 or higher. All right, let's randomly pull what. Let's do 2 more and then we'll end this thing. All right. Next up. Oh, we hit the jackpot. We had a Jerry Rice. Everybody loves collecting this card, chasing this card. This is the Jerry Rice rookie card, 1986 tops. This is also a very condition sensitive card. Raw card still sells for $51. 134 sales in the last 30 days. Some of these numbers blew my mind with how many transactions of raw cards on these aged cards are still taking place. 134. So about 4 cards per day are getting sold of Jerry Rice. It's just mind-boggling. A lot of them are probably ones that were already graded and cracked out, and somebody's trying to pull a fast one, and they're trying to sell it because their graded card maybe sells for less than the $50 that it does raw. But so you do have to be a little bit cautious with that. However, $50 grading fee, so you're going to have about $75 invested. A PSA 6, if you get a 6, $60, so you're going to lose about $20 on a PSA 6. PSA 7, $92. So after fees, you about break even on a 7. 8 is really where you need to go to make a profit on this. I did this play 3 times last year. All 3 times I got PSA 8s. 8 is the most common grade on this card. 8 is $250, so you're gonna have a nice 3x your profit margin. You know, take a $75 investment and get $250. PSA 9 is $3,600. Because $3,600 for a $75 investment, I chased this 3 times last year, both trying for that elusive PSA 9. I wasn't ignorant enough to think I was ever going to find a 10, but I really thought I could maybe get a 9. And I found 3 really nice clean copies, and I got 8s on all 3 of them. But I still made a couple $100 a piece on them, which, you know, who doesn't like a couple $100, right?
My biggest regret since I rejoined the hobby is I went to a card show. This was kind of weird card show in Kingman, Arizona, on the square downtown. And this guy, I was just buying ultra modern stuff, but this guy had a beautiful Rice rookie. I mean, it looked terrific to me, and he wanted $75 for it. And I brought $100 with me to spend. And I didn't do it. And as soon as I went home, I was like, that was stupid not buying that Rice. That was dumb. I've been kicking myself for years for passing on that. I'm like, when's the next show in Kingman? I'll fly back in there and go get that damn thing. It's a long way to Kingman from where I'm at now. But
sticking with the 86 tops football set, William the Refrigerator Perry rookie card. This card, $3 was the last sale. Again, 54 sales in the last 30 days, so almost two a day sell. The 30-day average is just shy of $5. So you're going to expect to spend $3 to $5, $6. There was one that sold for almost $12. And that one in the listing, the guy, I went back and looked the listing. The guy said he guaranteed the card to be near mint or better. I don't know. You never know what people do. But anyways, so $5. So with grading and shipping, you got $30 invested. $40 is a PSA 8, so you bust even on a PSA 8. PSA 9 is $390. So you'd really be shooting for a 9. However, 8 is the most popular grade. So there's a real good chance that you end up with a nice PC card. Or you sell it and try again without costing yourself any money, being a PSA 8. This is one of my favorite cards from the Junk Wax era. I've owned this card several times. I keep selling it, trading it, doing other things. I don't know why, but I do. I really need to get a PSA 10 copy of this and just put it in my safe and forget about it. 89 hoops. David Robinson. Him and Tim Duncan were two of the best players in the 80s and 90s. So you gotta collect their rookie cards. $5 is all that this card sells for in raw condition. 95 sales in the last 30 days, so 3 per day. The average is only $3.50. As you can see from the chart, $3 to $8 is pretty much almost all of the 95 sales. There was one that sold for $14. But $10, 3 to let's say $5 to $10 is where you're going to be on this card. PSA 9 sells for $44, so you're bust even on a 9. You got to get the 10. And a 10 is $525 because, as we mentioned earlier, hoops don't grade so well. Only a 7% gem rate. But there were 4 PSA 10s that hit the pop report in 2025. So again, it can be done. You just gotta be diligent with what you're looking for. I really want it. There's one more card I wanted. I've just got so many cards left in my queue. I can't see which one is which. I was really hoping to hit one here, but this is the one. All right, we're going to end on this, Bo. Had to end with sweetness.
All right. 77.
1977 Topps. Walter Payton. So this is a second year. This is the All-Pro card. $21.50. 58. Again, 58. A 1970. The card's 40 years old and they're still transacting raw twice a day. That just boggles my mind. The 30-day average is $15. You can see they range anywhere from as low as $8 all the way up to $24. So, 15 to 20 to $25 is what you probably want to spend on this card. Spend $25 to get a really what you think is a nice copy. With grading and fees, you got $50. A PSA 6 is $60. So you're going to break even on a nice copy at a PSA 6. PSA 7 is $120. So you can literally a little better than double your money on a PSA 7. That's what makes this play kind of fun and interesting. A PSA 8 is $294. So you can get a 6x of your investment on a PSA 8. And then a PSA 9 is $2,299. In October of 2024, I bought a football collection from a guy, and he had a couple of these in there, and I picked out the nicest one, and I sent it in, and I got a PSA 9. That was one of my better raw to grade plays for 2024. But but it is possible, and you can still find some really nice conditioned late 70s cards, because there was no shortage of late 70s football cards. They're out there, and there's still a lot of pack fresh looking cards if you can find them. So I wanted to end on sweetness. There's a few other 70s. And so I'll just read off the other plays I didn't have time for here today, but 82 tops Reggie Jackson, 86 Fleer sticker Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 78 tops Tony Dorsett, 81 tops Joe Montana, 82 tops Lawrence Taylor, 85 tops Kirby Puckett, 83 tops Tony Gwynn, 83 Fleer Tony Gwynn, 83 Don Russ Tony Gwynn, 2006 tops Chrome Tom Brady, 85 Warren Moon. So yeah, I mean, there's the list goes on and on and on of cards from that quote unquote junk wax era. They made so much of it that guys like you and I in our age group, we're finding those cards fun and attractive. So, they're really starting to climb in value. I think that junk wax era is going to be, in the next 10 years, it's going to really, really take off with some PSA. If you can get some PSA 10 values, because a lot of that stuff was condition sensitive. So if you can get some low pop, even if it's lower pop PSA 8s or 9s, that's a place that you can put some money for a long-term hold and really do well with.
What do you think about Terry Bradshaw? I've been hunting to try to find some older Bradshaw stuff, just because I hate to say it, but I don't think he's going to be around that much longer.
Yeah, Bradshaw's another one. His rookie card's going to be in the early 70s.
They always look. I mean, I always see nothing but rough copies of that one, but maybe like a year or two.
Yeah, anything. I mean, last year I did a 78 tops Terry Bradshaw. I got a PSA 8 and I made like $50 on it. So, I mean, yeah, it's very feasible. Just look for some, late 70s, 80s, 90s, cards of players that are Hall of Famers, that are in really good condition, and send them in and get them graded. We don't all have to chase the Cooper Flags of the world. It gets kind of boring and mundane to me anyways. The reason I did today different than what we've done in the past is I'm getting a little bit burned out and worn out with all this modern stuff, when you can't even go and get a pack of cards to pull anymore because the breakers get all the good stuff. I thought there is so much good stuff out there in high volumes. Let's talk about something else on the show. So I hope everybody enjoyed it. If you did, let me know. We can do another show in 4 weeks with some of that stuff. In 2 weeks, as I mentioned, we're going to have Eric on. I'm going to let Eric pretty much dictate where that show goes. I'll chime in, Bo will chime in, but Eric's got a lot of stuff to share with us and help us make some money. So I'm going to give Eric his due time in 2 weeks. And then I'll be back in 4 weeks with some more plays like this. If you guys enjoy it, they're not time sensitive. That's the beautiful thing about these types of plays. It doesn't matter if PSA takes 2 months or 6 months. The cards are never going down in value because they're older cards. They're not playing anymore. It just makes the hobby a little bit more fun when you're not racing the clock. So
they're safe bets, really.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the angle we took this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's hear some feedback. If you hated it, let me know that too. I've got thick skin. That's okay. We're just trying to think of different things that we can share with you guys that will be exciting, fun, interesting, something different that you can go and chase, and most importantly, make some money on.
Heck yeah.
So you got anything else for us, Bo, or are you pretty well done as well?
I have a question, but I think I'm going to hold it for Eric because it's a night. It was something that he brought to my attention. So I'll just
Okay.
wait until next show.
Sounds good. Yeah, loved it. Go Raiders. So, all right.
I'm going to get my if they don't blow it, I'm going to get a Mendoza jersey after they pick him number 1. Because I haven't had my last Mendoza, my last Raiders jersey was Darren McFadden. It's been a while.
Nice. What happens if they don't take Mendoza?
I'm gonna be mad as hell. Yeah, I'm on that Fernando vibe, man. I think they got to take him. But there's rumors that they're trading him to pick for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
See.
All right. Well, thanks everybody, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.